Hello there, and welcome. Tonight, we're going on a journey, one that begins the moment you close your eyes and imagine a world long gone. Before we begin, I invite you to do something simple. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Sink deeper into wherever you're lying. Let your body feel heavier with each passing moment, and let the quiet of this narration carry you gently back in time. If you enjoy these kinds of stories, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and tell me where in the world you're listening from. I always love seeing the little community we're building across oceans and time zones. Now let us travel together back to medieval England. Imagine it's the year 1300 and something. You're not a king, not a knight, not a noble draped in finery. No, you are a peasant, one of countless men and women who made up the very backbone of the medieval world. And tonight, you will live a day in their shoes. Your eyes open slowly, not to the glow of an alarm clock or the buzz of electricity, but to the dim, uncertain light of dawn seeping through a thatched roof. The first thing you feel is the straw beneath you, poking and scratching through the thin layer of cloth that separates you from it. It's not comfortable, not really, but it's what you've always known. Around you, your family stirs. Someone shifts beside you, your younger sibling perhaps, while in the far corner, your mother rocks a baby who fusses quietly. The room smells of smoke and damp wood, with a hint of livestock drifting in from outside. You're not alone here, not even in your bed. Privacy is a luxury you've never known. You push yourself up, and your feet touch the packed earth floor. It's cold, almost icy, and you wince a little before standing. Your breath fogs faintly in the chill. A few wooden bowls sit neatly stacked by the hearth, and a single iron pot hangs from its hook, blackened by years of use. This is your world. No paintings, no mirrors, no decorations. Just wood, earth, straw, and smoke. And yet, to you, it is home. Stepping outside, you pull open the rough wooden door. It creaks loudly, and suddenly the morning greets you with a rush of misty air. The village is small, just a cluster of huts like your own, each with a thin column of smoke rising weakly from its roof. Chickens scurry underfoot, pecking at the ground, and from the byre comes the unmistakable scent of cattle. Somewhere far away, a single church bell tolls. Its deep note rolls across the fields, reminding everyone who hears it that the day belongs to God and to the Lord of these lands. But before you can think of the fields or the church, there is the first and simplest ritual of the day, breaking the fast. Inside, your mother ladles out a thick, steaming pottage from last night's pot, barley, beans, maybe a shred of onion if the garden was kind. On the table sits a round of coarse bread, hard at the edges, but filling enough. Ale, weak and warm, is poured into a wooden cup to wash it down. There is no butter, no sugar, no feast, just the humble food that has kept your people alive for centuries. You chew slowly, each bite gritty with stone-ground flour, and yet it satisfies in its own plain way. Meals here are not about variety or indulgence. They are about survival. The rhythm of what you eat is set by the seasons. In summer, there are vegetables and fresh grains. In winter, dried beans, salted fish, and whatever the harvest spared. Hunger is never far from a peasant's table, and so every mouthful carries weight. You don't eat quickly, you eat gratefully. Once the bowls are empty and the last crust of bread is gone, there is no time to linger. The sun has risen higher, and with it comes the call of the fields. You step outside once more, and the world has changed. The mist begins to lift, revealing long strips of farmland stretching across the landscape. These are not your fields, not truly. They belong to the Lord of the manor, but it is your back, and those of your family, that will till them. You walk barefoot across the furrows, the soil clinging to your skin. In one season, you might plow with an ox pulling a heavy wooden plow, the reins rough in your hands as you guide it. In another, you sow seeds, scattering them by hand, while hoping the crows don't take too many. There are sheep to herd, cows to milk, weeds to pull, and ditches to dig. The work is endless, and there is no escaping it. The sun beats down in summer, and in winter the frost stiffens your fingers until you can hardly hold a tool. Yet this is life, steady and unchanging. The rhythm of labor binds the village together, each person doing their part or risking hunger for all. Still, the fields are not just a place of toil. They are a place of talk. As you work, you hear the jokes of neighbors, the gossip whispered between rows, the stories of births, marriages, and misfortunes. Hardship is easier when shared, and though you are bound by the land, you are also bound by each other. But always, above you, there is the shadow of authority. You are not free. Your land, your house, your very existence is tied to the will of the Lord. Each year, you owe him rent, sometimes in coin, more often in grain or livestock. You owe days of labor, known as corvée, when you must work his fields instead of your own. And above him sits the church, taking its tithe, 1/10 of everything you earn, demanded in the name of God. To resist is unthinkable. To disobey is dangerous. And yet, faith offers comfort too. The church bells mark the hours of your day. The priest offers hope of heaven when the toil of earth feels too heavy. You cross yourself before meals, whisper prayers before sleep, and live with one eye always fixed on eternity. Festivals break the monotony. Saints' days, holy feast, and processions fill the village with music and color, a brief escape from hardship. But fear lingers too. Fear of sin, of hellfire, of demons said to lurk in the dark. Your life is balanced between faith and fear, each shaping the other. Now and then, there comes a change of pace. Market day. You rise early, walking along muddy tracks toward a larger village or town. The world suddenly bursts into color. Stalls line the square, piled with goods. Saltfish, bright cloth, tools, pottery, even the rare exotic spice brought by distant merchants. The air is thick with the smell of roasted meat and the sound of bargaining voices. Children chase each other through the crowd. Dogs bark, and traders shout their prices. Here, you glimpse a wider world beyond your small hut. You might sell eggs or woven baskets, trade a little grain, or buy a trinket you'll treasure for years. And yet, even in the bustle of the market, the eyes of neighbors follow you. Everyone knows your name, your business, your life. Community is safety, but it is also a cage. As the day winds down, you return home. The sun dips low, casting the fields in golden light. Your body aches from work, your clothes smell of sweat and earth, and your stomach growls with hunger. Yet as night falls, a different rhythm begins. Families gather around their hearths. The single flame, a beacon in the dark. Bread is passed around, ale is poured, and stories begin. Tales of saints and miracles, of spirits and monsters, of kings and battles far away. Children listen wide-eyed, elders nod knowingly, and laughter sometimes fills the small hut despite the hardship. You stretch out once more on your straw bed, the warmth of the fire fading slowly. Your family breathes beside you, steady and soft. The door creaks as the wind pushes against it, but you are safe within. Your eyes grow heavy, and you realize that though your life is bound by labor, by duty, and by fear. It is also bound by love, by community, and by resilience. And so, as you drift to sleep tonight, let the world of medieval England settle around you like a heavy woolen cloak. Feel the weight of centuries, the rhythm of lives lived humbly, the quiet dignity of those who came before us. Rest now and dream, for tomorrow the bell will ring again, the fields will call, and the life of a peasant will begin anew.